Hey guys, Dylan here from Truth About Dating, and today I'm going to teach you how to ace the first date. Now before we get into it, please like, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments if you guys have any tips or tricks that have helped you on first dates. Now, the number one thing that most people mess up with on first dates is they talk way too much. If you were to slow things down and not talk as much, but instead listen, you would be surprised with how different your dates would go. The reason for this is that this is the number one complaint most women and men have for the opposite sex. It's surprising, but it happens. People generally tend to have verbal diarrhea. They let loose a little bit too much information, and all of a sudden the other person's like, what's happening? Like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't expect this. Now, you're probably like, what? Like, I don't really understand where he's coming from. Well, let me give you an example. I recently went on a date not too long ago with a woman, and I simply asked her, how long have you been in X place for? And she said, I've been here for, X amount of time. I actually moved here because of an ex-boyfriend, but unfortunately that didn't work out. So now, I'm just trying to figure out the next thing, living La Vida Loca. Not really sure what's next, but I'm hoping everything works out. And, I just wish it wouldn't have ended that way. And I was like, what? Like, I don't want anything to do with it. I was like, like verbally, I was like, yeah, okay, like interesting. But like in my mind, I was like, what is this? Like, waiter, check, can I get the hell out of here? Like, I was like, I actually got something planned. I gotta go. But I stayed for a little bit longer and then I didn't, because I'm nice like that. But that's what I mean when I talk about verbal diarrhea. Eliciting too much information right out the gate. You just, I didn't even ask you, and you're just letting it all go. And you're also talking too much. That's something that women do, but guys, we do it all the time. All the women that I've dealt with, they've told me time and time again, they will end up just not dealing with men because they talk too much. Guys can talk their way out of attraction, same way as a woman can talk too much about other things that can definitely turn off a guy and make him be like, I don't really want to deal with this. So just be aware of that. Now, the second thing is the types of questions that you're asking. A lot of guys, when they're new to this, and also girls, they get into this 21 questions and they all about us. Great song. Shout out to 50 Cent. Great song. I don't know why I thought about that. But they start doing this weird, what's your name? What's your sign? Where are you from? You got friends? Where do you live? Who did it? It sounds like under investigation right now. People, I'm just like, who is this other person on the other side of this table? Are they trying to, solve some murder mystery in a sense? It's just bizarre to me. But people do that. People get very detective-like when they start asking questions. And when you get into that mindset, you're not listening to what a person has to say. And so as a result, you're just going to go in one ear, out the other, and you're going to miss a lot of valuable information that the person may have. But also, the person who's being asked the question may start to get defensive. So what can you do to alter that? Well, the answer to that is ask open-ended questions. When you ask open-ended questions that don't have a closed loop is like, what's your name? Boom. You tell me it could be a one-word answer. Nonetheless, you want open-ended questions so that the person can expand or expound upon and continue to help you get more and more information. Remember, the purpose of a first date is to get a feel for the person, to figure out whether or not you and the other person are going to get along or whether you're a right match or right fit for one another. It also helps determine fairly early on whether or not you even want to deal with the person or not. Now, another thing you can do is ask questions that are also geared towards or pointed towards what their passions are. When people talk about their hobbies or their passions, they generally tend to start feeling the emotions of that. So for example, I asked, if you could do anything in the world, what would it be? Money didn't matter. You'd probably think of, it would take you a minute, but you think of something that you really want and you start imagining it in your head. You become introspective for a second and then you start telling me. Now that's where I want the person to be, because when they're in that mindset now, oh my gosh, they're feeling it. They're like, this is awesome. And like, I would do this, I would do that. They get passionate about it. And then when I'm asking them more follow-up questions about it and I'm using their own words that they're using, let's just say they say, would love to be an archaeologist. You go, wow, an archaeologist, that's so awesome. Was there a moment in time where you knew you wanted to be an archaeologist? Or was there something that led you to want to study to become an archaeologist? Is there something that prompted this inquiry into archaeology? I'm using the word, she said archaeology, but it could be a lot of other things. She could say, I just love it. Oh, that's so awesome that you love something. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm mirroring and I'm using her words. or whoever you're dealing with. You use their words. And by doing that, you start building a sense of connection. You can also mirror they talk about, your body positioning and whatnot, but these are the same things that in order to get close to anyone, even in business or anywhere in life, this is stuff that people naturally do. It may seem a little bit weird to you, but think about it. Your best friend or someone that you've known forever, they naturally mirror you, and they're going to be using a lot of the same language that you naturally use. And that's how you guys build a connection, and that's how you guys get closer. So by doing this, the positive effect is that you're actually going to be making the person feel like they've known you forever. And they're going to feel very open with you, and you're going to be able to get on topics that they normally would not talk about with other people. I've got into conversations with people about very deep topics, and the dates have gone on for 3 hours, and it felt like 30 minutes. That's what happens. That's the power of this. So use it wisely, but also just be aware. When you're very inquisitive about a person and you're actively listening, this is a game changer. And you'll be surprised. A lot of people have bad dates because of this, because people are very one-sided. They feel like that person didn't care about them. They didn't care to learn. They weren't interested. And that's where we want to go. The second best thing that happens is that people are going to want to go on more dates with you. They're going to want to go on a second, maybe a third date, because they're like, wow, this person actually gets it. I haven't met a person who is actually interested, who wants to do this, who wants to do that. Because as humans, we want to be understood. We want to feel like we're understood. We want people to feel like, okay, wow, they get me. I feel close to them because of that. So guys, I promise you, if you guys use those tips right there, it's drastically going to change how your first date is going to go. Before I end this video, I just want to talk about one last thing. That's going to be conversation. A lot of people come up to me and they go, hey man, like I kind of have a gist of what to do, but I just don't know what to say. Think of like your best friend and what they would ask you, and just kind of use the same types of things. Ask things that you're curious about. If you want to find out more about a person's past, like what were you like in high school? Ask those questions. I'm telling you, that's how you're going to get better at this. It's really going to help you in all facets of life. And this is one of the reasons why I love studying this so much. Now, if you guys want to find out more about this whole mirroring, and especially about when I mentioned the passions aspect, because I found out about this on my own, but I found Dr. David Snyder, who actually talks about neuro-linguistic programming. And he gets a little bit more in depth as to the reasons as to why this works so effectively. So as I said, I kind of found this out on my own. I wish I would have just seen this video because it would have helped me out. If you do check it out, please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a pleasure. And remember, if you guys have any other questions, email me at dylan@truthaboutdating.com. I'll be more than happy to answer you in a video. And if you guys want to schedule a free 30-minute consultation, just want to find out more about what I do, hit me up. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.